right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks. And a short kick taking it about the 16. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
We own them. Hayward. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. Ready, go.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Escaping the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. I'm not sure exactly what they had planned for play number 1 from scrimmage, but I can guarantee it wasn't that interception.
No doubt about that one, because in their daydream, this was going to be a dream play to get things started. Instead, it turned into a nightmare for them.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Leo. Bang, 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 bang. Lee Griffin.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
218, chop. Check.
He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Ready. 53 is the mic. All right. General West. Go.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear them now. 3rd and goal.
266, pull it high. Go. Ready?
They'll look to throw here. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And he pulled it. Oh, my goodness. It's no good. He missed it. And this will remain a scoreless game. So we would have figured that one to be 3 points in the bank, but this game, it can be unpredictable at times.
Yeah, he knew he needed to pull it ever so slightly to get it going in the right direction, but he seemed to put a little too much on it, and from short range, that is a bad miss for an NFL kicker.
On 1st down, it's Knight, fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll look to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10.
Got it.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Recon, 152 fighter. He's coming, double up. Mike's 50, Mike.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Well, there was 2nd long, now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Come on, set, 8, read. Topper. Hey, exit. 5.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
But there is a certainty in this game. We know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taken from just outside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is their third drive right now. Maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Ready? 90, Wolf. Pilot, 64, Weak. Hey, Haywood.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And this is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha.
Mike, 53. 53, Mike.
2nd and 10. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and they're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will remain a scoreless game. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. On the delay, it's Balaj. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back.
Ready. 60, orange.
56. Here we go.
Bravo!
56, Mike, 56.
Y'all not ready?
56 to Mike, boys, 56.
Ready, go!
I got you. Mike,
6, and go!
On 2nd down now, it's Knight. And he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
check nickel.
Under 10. 10.
Go!
Zoom, fellas, let's go!
44's the Mike.
Ready?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to come up well shy of the first here as the tackle's made right around the 12. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
61, matchbox lights.
Back. Check. Hey, switch gears. Jim.
Get it.
Go, run.
The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Smooth.
Check. 53's mine.
Hey, rock it. Ready?
Now this time he'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. He'll have a first down inside the 10. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. From 21 yards away. And the Steelers have taken the lead. And nowadays in NFL football, you have to account for all the receivers, sure, but the tight end's such a weapon, and they prove it right there.
Oh, without a doubt. And we're seeing now the golden age of tight ends catching the football. I go back to Kellen Winslow. To me, he was the prototype of what we're seeing today. We're seeing it each and every week now.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
56, the mic, boys. 56. Check.
Back to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfired.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
50. Man, that's trash.
Hey, echo. 2.
Now back to throw. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10. at their own 25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Incomplete. Offensively, might be thinking, what's going on here? 1 for their first 7 throwing the football.
So maybe they're thinking about rethinking their strategy a little bit right now with the way that they're throwing it around. Not having that success, might have to lean on the running game for a little while and see if they can get him back in form.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Hey, check Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Got it.
He'll drop to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half.
Get ready, get ready.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
50, last 50.
Protein spill.
Shift.
Go.
Like 50, Mike.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. 2nd down and inches. His throw incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches.
Hey, check 24. Check 24.
Gone, gone.
Check 50.
Get it.
They'll run it here. This is Rodgers. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
And the Steelers first down.
Here we go. Set. 60 or.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Hey,
General West. Ready, ready.
On play action, they'll throw. Flush, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
53's mine.
Greystone travel.
2nd and 11. Looking left side, and it's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down.
This quarterback now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
53 is the mic. It's a party now. It's a party.
Yep.
Let's go, let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53.
Now.
He'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's 2nd down and 10.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
You remember me? Let's go.
Hey, you.
53's mine. Check 53's mine.
Fire.
They'll set up to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Pull it high.
Check it back.
You're out. Shoot.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. And his kick is good. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the 2nd half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the 2nd half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 13. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line. first possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Here's second and goal, operating from the 8-yard line.
56. Mike, 56. Right there, 56.
Yes!
Here's second and 8. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking that time for Dante Pettis, but now it's third and goal.
What a job by this defense all game long. They've come together and really said, no one's crossing our goal line, and they're definitely not going to start right now.
You can just see the dejection. Feel like nothing is working offensively. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal.
Hey, check it. Mike 21. Check Mike 21. Alpha. You can't hang. He's not going to get me.
They'll drop the throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he throws.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Come on, set. 15 line. 15 line.
Tackle.
Hey, Delta.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
Brings up 2nd and 10.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 20. So they've got the football, and they'll start right on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Push him back. Push him back.
Get it.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
So many play callers in the red zone worry about the negative effects of a play that they're about to call. For this guy, all he's worried about is gaining yardage and putting the ball in the hands of his playmakers.
They'll set up a throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Come on, dude.
Out of the gun now on third down. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And that'll kick and go out of bounds just outside the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Let's go.
Look, squeeze.
Check.
Now.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Wide open receiver complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Show it up. Show it up. Recon, 132 fighter. Haywood.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Mike 56, ready, go!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got Burton here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. And they almost had another one. They are all over the football in this game. Nearly another pick. Now 4th down.
Results in a 4th down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. It's taken to the 26.
We got this.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score Steelers 27, Seahawks 3.
Ready, ready.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
And he will force his way forward for a yard or two, but I have a good feeling this will be coming back.
Let's go, boys, bring it on!
Here we go. 60 or. Topper, topper!
Kill, turn up!
Let's go!
On the ground, Rodgers. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Ready?
53, Mike. I got one.
80 weapons. Speed grip.
They'll look to throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. So it can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
This is taken at the 15. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury.
Scene 6.
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Let's go. Check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position.
Set, ready? 10-2 start.
Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day on this.
Hard, hard.
Check 37, check 37.
Check. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
They give it off here to the tight end. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Nice, sweetheart.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Here we go, D. All day, defense. Ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here. And that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
This will be fielded at the 17.
Good work, boys. Let's go, let's go.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Hey, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And he's going to take this all the way down to the Seahawks' 32-yard line. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit...
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter, trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. The only people who are really happy about those picks, any fantasy team that has this defense.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 9 now from the 21. They'll keep it on the ground. Knight. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Troy Apke. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted
and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. A try here for the extra point. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Troy Apke. And some room to work. There he goes left side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here on this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.